Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, there's a lot going on in the news, so I will try and go over it as best as possible. Cryptocurrency exchange OKEX has suspended deposits of all ERC20 tokens after the alleged discovery of a serious bug and at least 12 smart contracts built to this token standard. In a statement published Tuesday, the Hong Kong-based exchange, third largest in the world as measured by daily trading volume, announced the suspension of deposits, explaining that attackers have exploited a newly discovered smart bug called batch overflow to generate an extremely large amount of tokens out of thin air and then deposit them into a normal Ethereum address. From the statement, we are suspending the deposits of all ERC20 tokens due to the discovery of a new smart bug contract, batch overflow. By exploiting the bug, attackers can generate an extremely large amount of tokens and deposit them into a normal address. This makes many of the ERC20 tokens vulnerable to price manipulations of the attackers. To protect public interest, we have decided to suspend the deposits of all ERC20 tokens until the bug is fixed. Also, we have contacted the affected token teams to conduct investigation and take necessary measures to prevent the attack. Changelly has also announced that they will also be, I believe, halting ERC20 token trading on their platform as well. And just in case this also happens to affect their systems. So that is the first thing, and then connecting onto that as well. Earlier this morning, servers providing domain name system DNS service to my Ether wallet Mu, the client-side software interface for interacting with the Ethereum blockchain, fell victim to an attack that utilized DNS cache poisoning or spoofing, a means of hijacking border gateway protocol, the BGP. Some users logging into my Ether wallet during this brief time frame earlier today, hours at most, fell prey to a phishing scam that tricked users into surrendering their wallet keys before transferring their cryptocurrency into what can only be assumed to be hackers' associated digital wallet. It's being reported that the attacker made off with 215 Ether, the equivalent of $160,000 at the time of this transaction. Ethereum is actually down in price. I think one of the most out of the other coins that are going around. And this seems to be the entire reason. Well, not the entire reason. Bitcoin is also down a tiny bit, but it seems that the news of the Ethereum, whatever the case might be that is going on, has caused the price to drop down a little bit. I feel like, or at least think, that this actually won't last for that long. I always say, if you've heard me say it before, negative news doesn't tend to last that long. We even had news that there was a hack a couple of months ago of, what was it, $500 million or something like that of Ethereum. So in case those who were wondering why the price of Ethereum is down or exactly what may have happened if you were trying to use different websites, this is exactly what is going on. This all actually happened relatively soon ago, like a couple of hours ago. So I think the price is responding to this news as it slowly drifts out into the atmosphere or the crypto space, whatever you want to call it. Next up, the Winklevoss twins are once again in the news because they are incapable of staying outside of it. Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange with Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss at its head, announced it has partnered with NASDAQ to monitor markets on April 25th. Why would NASDAQ be partnering with the Winklevoss twins over cryptocurrency? As a press release and multiple media outlets confirmed, the move represents a first for the exchange operator in the crypto sector, and we'll see Gemini use NASDAQ's smart market surveillance technology. Going forward, Gemini will be alerted to unusual trading behavior and could mitigate the effects of market manipulation, a threat which continues to be form a talking point in the exchange industry. Our deployment of NASDAQ Smart market surveillance will help ensure that Gemini is a rules-based marketplace for all market participants, etc., etc. So this goes back to just what I'm always saying. I think the crypto market is leading up to something that a lot of us cannot predict, and I think prices are going to kind of go absolutely insane within the next couple of weeks. But this is yet again another major name in finance who is now opening their doors to cryptocurrencies, and I think it's like a soft entrance almost. Like the fact that Gemini isn't one of the largest crypto exchanges, but they are one of the most well-known, and they also make sure to be as compliant as Coinbase because, I mean, these guys were already billionaires, so they know exactly how the game works. And they were one of the first people who got into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they're leading the charge when it comes to trying to spread the word of crypto. We spoke about John Pfeffer, I believe a day or two ago, and he was recently on CNBC's Fast Money saying that he believes that Bitcoin would rise to no less than $90,000 and potentially as high as $700,000 in the near future. Pfeffer said that BTC and crypto assets in general should be thought of as venture capital investment. They could go to zero, but they could be worth much more. I'm going to say much more before zero, because the argument goes is that at some point crypto could be worth zero, but I think even then that's also a lie. Even if governments completely banned it and stuff like that, or if people, fell out of favor, didn't really care about it, there would still be some people around the world who would be trading it. Just my idea. He explained that his so-called low bar estimate of $90,000 would hold if Bitcoin became equal to private gold bullion holdings, about $1.5 trillion of total value compared to $150 billion or thereabouts today. He said that the higher price values in the several hundreds of thousands could be reached if Bitcoin became a major reserve currency, which he assessed as less probable, but still possible. He gave a ballpark figure for this second scenario in yesterday's speech, stating that if Bitcoin displaces 25% of foreign reserves, the network's value would reach $6.4 trillion. Now, if that happens, I think I would actually be terrified that something that was created, I guess at this point in the future, would be around 17 years ago, controlled or had a market value of $6.4 trillion. This would mean that it was almost integrated into one out of every four things that we'd be using on a daily basis. So when you take the metro, when you take the something, if you are I can't even think of all the scenarios because there's so much stuff flowing through my head. That would be absolutely insane. But there are a lot of people who have come forward with this price. John McAfee, you're sitting at the top of the charts. He still thinks in the next 1 year, 8 months, whatever you want to call it, that Bitcoin would be $1 million. I would love to see it at that price, but let's see if that can realistically happen or ever happen within the next couple of years. So there's a huge problem, which many of you may not know, with airdrops. And this is not to scare you, but the SEC has come forward once again and pretty much said that airdrops are somewhat illegal because of the entire security thing, and you can't give coins away for free from the project that you're doing. Like before, there are a lot of airdrops that have happened. A lot of people snatch up coins quickly when they're trying to receive the free coins, either from a fork or from an airdrop of, they say, if you hold this coin, you will receive these coins for free. So apparently these are non-compliant, and we had word about this about a day or two ago after that guy gave his speech. So apparently companies are now trying to figure out how to make compliant airdrops in order to give away crypto for free without breaking any rules. Aptly named airdrops, the product runs users through compliance checks and attestations so that a token issuer can give coinless users free tokens. On top of that, if the issuer is looking for users that meet certain criteria to be a professional location, they can verify that users actually fit those backgrounds. To cut it completely short, people who have these coins and are trying to get their projects going are literally scrambling at this point because they're trying to be as compliant as possible. Because so a lot of ICOs, a lot of people do not know, have completely shut their doors. They said that they are no longer doing their ICO because they have received letters from the US government, even some of them, I believe, overseas, because apparently if you live in the US, you're not allowed to touch, I think, any ICOs or a lot of ICOs. And a lot of companies that have sold or have given tokens to people residing in the US have received some type of letter from the government saying, hey, can't do that. And now they're like, oh, okay, so we're just going to stop doing that. And a lot of other companies that planned on creating these things have also stopped. And this may be why, I remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Kodak coin, and there was another, some petrol company or something like that. They have all stepped back and said, no more ICOs because America is America. I don't know what to say on the on the channel. But yeah, so let's hope that they kind of get it going. Yeah, this is also a thing with the know your customer and anti-money laundering, because in essence, if you are having, let's say you own 100,000 of a certain coin and they plan on airdropping an equivalent 1-to-1 for the coins that you already have, and you end up getting 100,000 of that coins, and eventually it goes up to $100,000, you have been given $100,000 for free, and you are apparently supposed to pay taxes on this. It's all getting kind of confusing at the moment, but I think airdrops will definitely find a way to do it. They'll probably have it on a website or something like that where you can just snatch up your coins for free. Let's see exactly how this works out. Continuing on, there was a little bit of news also about a day or two ago that the government could possibly find Bitcoin as a security. Yep, you heard it here first, probably, if you didn't hear it somewhere else. As financial institutions' interest in trading cryptocurrency explodes, Andreessen Horowitz is leading a group of influential venture capitalists to protect cryptocurrencies from being classified as securities. Moreover, Horowitz is accelerating the launch of a dedicated crypto asset fund. An increasing number of finance firms are considering joining the crypto bandwagon to start trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies within the next few months. Yep, we know this. Specifically, Thomson Reuters survey, which includes more than 400 of its clients, determined that 1 in 5 institutional businesses is considering trading cryptocurrencies within 1 year. We went over this, I believe, yesterday. However, financial institutions, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists fear that regulators could designate Bitcoin and other specific cryptocurrencies as securities. Such a designation would carry an onerous oversight. The fact that Bitcoin is like the untouchable golden child. There's nothing in this world that designates Bitcoin as a security. Bitcoin isn't a company. It's just a lot. So according to the New York Times, regulators have indicated in private meetings that they are considering whether virtual currencies, including Ether, the second most widely used digital token, should be categorized as security. According to 3 people who have been in the meetings, we went over this a bit as well yesterday. They are not struggling. They're binding together as much as possible in order to make sure that Ether is definitely not a security, because on some levels it could be seen as a security on some levels, but Bitcoin is completely just out of the question. As a result, Andreessen Horowitz has assembled and is leading the venture capital working group. The New York Times reports that the group comprises the 2 most significant venture capital firms in the crypto industry. I'm not going to say their names because they're way too long. The primary purpose of the group is to deter regulators from categorizing cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ether as securities. In this connection, the venture capital working group met with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission on the 28th of March 2018. According to New York Times, the group also proposed a safe harbor for some cryptocurrencies. So I'm not sure how well bribing works in the crypto space or the world of the SEC. Not to say that anyone is going to bribe them, but you'd have to think, if there's this much scrambling kind of going around for them trying to make sure, how exactly would you convince someone who is already convinced of something? You kind of get what I'm saying? If someone believes the sky is blue, how do you convince them that the sky is actually a light purple? I don't know if these people just know them as friends, if they're just trying to have conversations, but I feel like you have to have a bit of leeway in some way in order to think that you can walk into the office of an SEC member or a group of SEC members and tell them not to designate certain coins as securities. Like I said, the only upside of this, that the slight silver lining at the end of the cloud, is that we have news that there may not be any news on exactly which coins are securities or are, whatever the case might be, whatever they plan on doing, anywhere between the next 9 to 48 months, which means we have hopefully a good couple of months of, celebrating and prices going a lot higher. But I think, me personally, I think we have probably about 2 years before the government really comes down hard, because I feel like what's happening now is just the very beginning of it. There's kind of scrambling and talking about exactly what they think should be happening in the cryptocurrency space. So hopefully we have some time to at least profit a bit or enjoy the space a bit more, because it's been estimated that by the year 2023, 2025, it'll be a very different space, and cryptocurrencies will probably be as not as volatile as they are now, because we'll have so much money in the space. And once these heavy, gigantic institutions get into cryptocurrencies, they're not going to really care to be inside of something that's fluctuating 10, 15, 20% up and down every single day. So I think we have a couple more years of, some nice gains in cryptocurrencies, and let's see where it goes from there. At the moment, Bitcoin has dropped, and there's no news as to why it dropped. It could be the fear of it getting too close to 10,000. As a result, you see this little dip right here. Every other coin is following it. Altcoins have a problem where if Bitcoin trips on a rock, they trip on a boulder. So this is why you see Bitcoin is down 4.9% and everything else has kind of completely stumbled. I think they do it in anticipation that Bitcoin will move or fall further down. But altcoins always take the hit to the back of the head when it comes to this dip. That's a complete dip down. That is back almost where. Anyway, the point remains, that is going to do it for this video. Just wanted to share the news with you guys. There's so much happening. Normally we have about 2 or 3 news stories that are floating around for the entire day. For some reason, there's been an avalanche of news over the last couple of weeks. I guess the momentum has kind of picked back up in the cryptocurrency space. Not that this is any of my business, but to throw this out there, since the market has picked back up, well, not from, what's happening right now. Since the market has picked back up, I have seen a lot of old cryptocurrency channels kind of reappear on YouTube. And just want to say, make sure you pay attention to who you watch. I'm not the #1 authority on cryptocurrency. So like I always say, take what I say with a grain of salt, but please protect yourself. I'm seeing a lot of videos talking about certain coins going up 100x. Someone posted a video yesterday and had, I think, 20,000 views. And it literally said 5 coins that will make you rich in 2018. And when I watched the video, they were not even in the top 300. They were coins that were completely out there. This is why I'm not naming any names, but please make sure you protect yourself and protect your money, because these people do not care about your money. They're promoting these coins to make themselves rich, and this is all that they care about in the end. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for this video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a great day. The market will pick back up. I'm kind of confident. I hope, at least. Thank you once again for all the support, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.